Hello, happy Wednesday. Wait, it's not Wednesday, it's Monday. I feel like I need to cut the live off and start over. Happy Monday, guys. Let you know I'm a little late to the party or a little early, depends on how you look at it. But it's Wednesday, it's Monday. Look, it's Wednesday. It's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. Oh my goodness, I got a lot going on. Where's the chat? Let me put the chat up. Okay. Probably because I'm already on vacation. Mentally. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I am early, just a tidbit, but it's because I got so much that I wanted to do. I was trying to come on earlier, but I was supporting another YouTuber, and I felt like I needed to. Do, 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 do. But so I'm going to give it a minute for people to get their notification. I got mine, but get their notification to see that I am here early. Not that it's a problem. I am going to hang out for a minute because I'm not doing a live on Wednesday. Not that because I'm planning on being on the road. So can't do a live. Well, I can do a live on the road. What are these? Oh, that's right. These are tags. I'm going to put them in my journal. It won't be tags. These came out of my Daphne's diary. All right. Let's plug this up so it doesn't go dead. I got that plugged up. Okay. We are going to be talking about, so today I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to have a heart conversation. We're going to have a creativity break. We're going to do a whole bunch of creating. And the best part, as we do all of those things, we get to be real. Me getting ready for vacation while reflecting on, some deeper things. We're gonna see where it takes us. We're not gonna stress. We're not gonna rush. I'm gonna take a deep breath and do a lot of breathing. But I pulled out my box because there are some things possibly in here that's gonna take the journey. And I'm not sure which ones it's going to be. These are, what's that thing called? Marry Blue. These are Marry Blues, but it's not a whole lot of paint in there. Not that I would not need it, but there's no white, so can't do no mixing. There's no black. So they might not make it. So happy Monday. What have you guys been up to? Team Replay. Let's have a conversation for Team Replay. Team Replay, I do appreciate you. I love when I go on my analytics and see that Team Replay shows up here in Slapping Paint on Paper, right? Team Replay watches. They actually watch for a long period of time, which helps with my watch time hour because over here, that's what we're trying to do is grow the channel with subscribers and watch time hours. And that I am very much so grateful for. So don't take it lightly. Don't think because you're not here on the live that I don't appreciate you because I do. Right? So, Team Replay, I'm going to ask you, what do you do when the dream you had feels like it's gone? Because I've been there. And it's not very long, very much like it's been within the last 5 years. I felt like the dream that I had felt like it was gone, felt like it was not obtainable. I couldn't reach it. Um, so, yeah. And if you've been there, then comment below, what do you do when the dream you had feels like it's gone? And then today, I hope in this video or by the time this replay, if you're watching it, it lets you know that it doesn't have to be a dream that's gone. Sometimes it's just maybe the timing, right? But I am going to show you in today's live, you're not lost. You're just in the middle of finding either a new dream or maybe making some amendments to the dream or adding some attachments to the dream. That's what I figured out. These are Daniel, what is that thing? Daniel Rowney? I don't think it's Daniel. I can't read my own handwriting. So that's that. And then, of course, making art for joy's sake might make it. But I'm only taking one. And I've dug into it and used it. It's made some trips. But what I was thinking about doing was flipping. Keep taking the case because I love the size of the case. And I want the case to go because it's pretty. Hello, Mr. McCoy. How are you? And then taking this one and putting it in here. And put a white there because I need white to be mixing. So that's a thought, but it's not making art for joy's sake. So that's another thing. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, but when you look at these, I'm going to put this one over here. But then I don't want to mess it up. And these right here, I've used them. I've used it because it's already been a traveling palette. So, but it's all dug in. So, I don't know. But I don't want these to get mixed up. So, Mr. McCoy, when you come home, you're going to have to fix the lawnmower. Well, it's not broke. It just got something caught up under there. And I was tired. I just didn't feel like pulling it out. I came inside and ate me some lunch and took a shower. Beth! Hello. I was just watching your video. Oh, my goodness. Listen. I'm so happy. It gave me pure joy to hear your happiness when you open that Happy Mail. Okay, Mr. McCoy, you can leave your phone, cut the volume down. But leave it on for watch time hours, please and thank you. Or tell the people in therapy that they can watch too. It gave my heart so much joy to hear you as you open it and everything. And I was just like, oh, but that's why I do what I do. It's because that's the kind of joy that I want people to have. Slapping paint on paper, healing what? One brushstroke at a time. And that's how we do it. And Beth says at the end of her her recording, she says crafting is cheaper than therapy. And being that I'm a counselor and have done therapy, I was kind of like, I don't know, cause this crafting stuff it has gotten a little expensive, and I don't know, but I get what you're saying, and I do agree that sometimes traditional therapy is not for everybody. This is why, hence, I pivoted and came over here and started this channel, Slapping Paint on Paper. Well, I already had a YouTube channel, but I pivoted a little bit, and now it's about creating joy, which is why y'all know we have everything that I pretty much was looking for a name, and I was just like, why? I create joy, so it's Create Joy Studio, which is my international palette. Oh, I might see. I want to take this palette, but there's just not. It's not enough versatility. It's not enough. Um, it's just not enough of the colors that I know that I'm going to want to swatch and mix up. So we are going to take some gouache. I already have a palette that I've poured some gouache in, but hopefully it's drying. I put it in there with the dehumidifier, so it's working. I still do traditional therapy. Yeah, I still do traditional therapy too. But there's nothing like, I do think, and I've told my therapist this, having this channel and creating and doing all the things with my different platforms, and also still helping mothers navigate through loss after they've lost a child, that has brought me so much joy. That's even sitting in the, talking to the therapist. Usually I don't talk to the therapist about my grief journey. Usually the therapist and I talk about other things, children, the husband, but not the grief. The grief I do well with handling it over here, talking about it, being real about it, and really getting my mindset to the place to where it feels like I can manage it. So now it's so that's why I tell people, if you've lost, Like if you've lost something, you've lost someone and to death, name it, meaning naming the grief is you've lost someone and you're upset and you're angry and you have to go down those emotional rabbit holes. And at the end, that's the only time I would tell you to have an end game. What is it that you want in the end after that? For me, I wanted to have peace, I wanted hope, and I wanted joy. And so once I got that, then it was easier for me to move forward and start planning life and start deciding what the next looked like for me, right? Because when you have peace, your peace, I mean, I was at peace with the fact that here I was again after losing, standing my two caskets in 2007. Here I am again in 2019. Like, and then I had to be truthful and like, God, I'm a little pissed off now that I got to do this again and I'm not happy with it. I had to be honest with myself, right? So let's get honest with ourselves. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I came on early. I was going to come on at 2 o'clock because I'm not going to be here Wednesday, and I will be officially on vacation technically tomorrow because I'm going to get my hair done. And so there, and then we're leaving, I think Wednesday. I think Mr. McCoy got to work, and I'm thinking we're going to leave when he get off. Not sure, but that's how that's going. So right now today, I had a lot that I wanted to talk about, and then I had a lot that I wanted to be real about. And just in the midst of all the things that I do, we're going to have some real conversations, some loving conversations. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was because as I was coming in the studio Friday, oh no, when I was leaving Wednesday after I finished with the live, and I looked at what this week's was going to be about, now it's like lost a dream. So I had to go back into my notes and be like, lost a dream. And my dream was the little Karen, we're going to talk about little Karen for a minute. Little Karen wanted to be a lawyer. Little Karen was told she wasn't smart enough. Then we fast forward past those things, just like, okay. But then somewhere in life along the ways, I was like, no, I can do this, right? So I decided to go back. I was going to go to law school. I took the LSAT. In 2020, when COVID hit, right? So I had to take it at home, which was very interesting. But something along the way, after I took that test and got the scores, then I applied to Syracuse University and I got a rejection letter and I was super duper happy. I was so freaking excited, right? This dream of mine was to go to law school and become a lawyer. And here I am excited that I got rejected. And if you know the answer, because I'm not going to give the answer right away, but tell me, why was I happy about the rejection? Put it in the chat. Oh, these are yummy. Maybe I could take this. So right now I'm going through all my watercolors, guys, and I'm just trying to decide what might make it to go on the ship with me. Because I am packing up my bag. Let me show you, not the box. I wish I could take the box, but I'm going to pack up my watercolor. Well, it's my traveling art bag. Look, it already has my charger in there. But this might not, you might not be able to see it. Excuse all the noise, but for the ASMR people, that sounded good. So it has a lot of space, and I'm not gonna take my laptop, not taking no big electronics. So I have room, right? And you can see it's pretty big. And yeah, so this is and it turns into a backpack, or I can carry it as a handle. So that'll be not filled up, but it'll have paper and stuff like that in it. No debt. Nope, had nothing to do with debt. Nope. Okay. These are the sets. There's a video coming out. So if I have videos set for the next 2 weeks. because technically I'm not planning to do lives on Monday and Wednesday, but I do have videos that will be coming out on Monday and Wednesday. Now, if I do pop on and do a live, I do hope y'all get your notification. If not, you can catch me on the replay. But I had to plan because I told y'all I didn't want YouTube to think I was breaking up with it because I wasn't going to be doing my lives or wasn't going to be posting. I have short schedule. I got it, but it's all planned out for the next 2 weeks because when I come back, we'll be back in July. That first weekend, I won't be back home. And then the second weekend, I have family reunion. So I will be pretty much, on cruise control. So I didn't want to put the pressure of, oh my goodness, I got a live. Okay. So I want it to be very flexible. So this summer, July is going to be very, very flexible. I am telling you guys because I want y'all to do the same thing. Don't be, don't be coat hanging. Don't hang yourself up by, doing all the things. Now, Beth was blessed. The colors you had, Beth, I'm almost certain the only color I didn't send was white. But these are the colors you got the mixing set, I think. Oh, I'm not sure. And then when you were opening it, I was like, Dad, did I not send the colors swatching? Did I not write it on the bottom of them? I wasn't sure. Usually I'll swatch them out and do something like this and put the name on there. But when you didn't open it, when you open it up, you only had the circles. That meant I gave you the circles. The circles are actually watercolor paper too. So you can watercolor on this. This watercolor paper is Fabriano. And it is amazing. Now, we're going to talk about some questions that Beth had when she was opening. She got a Happy Mail and I poured some pans of the gouache. So these are the gouache. There's a mixing set that I have, and then there's an introductory set. I guess somewhere along the line, I didn't know I had this one, or they came. So this one came first, and then this one came, or I couldn't remember. I don't know. But anyway, they're different. They are definitely different. When I say mixing set, check out that video that's going to come. Hello, Dawn. Dawn, you're going to love the video that I have coming out. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you what day, but y'all check them videos out. It was inspired by Beth. When you see it, you'll get the story. I am not going to spill the beans. Check this out, y'all. This is my own peach that came out of my harvest in my yard. I was going to cut it up, and then I was just like, wait, let me show it. So I got peaches, I got pears, I got blueberries. The blueberries, I've been just eating the blueberries right off the bush. What else we got up there? Plums are gone. We have pomegranates, but they haven't bloomed yet. I was seasoning the salmon. Oh, yummy. There's something else I can't think of right now. Yeah, but the peaches are finally to the place where this one I just kind of grabbed it and it just kind of popped off. So I'm going to taste it. The ones we had last year was very, very sweet. So we'll see how that goes. So we got freshness hanging around here. We got watercolor hanging around here. Isn't this cute? I got this from the dollar store. And I was just like, well, we're going to decorate with that. So we're going to put these in there. So I got my Rosa Galleries in there. And I put all my Blicks in here. And this will remind me to use what I got. Don't not use it. Because if I put them down, they'll be. Okay, so let's see. We just finished a dozen peaches this past week. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love peaches, yes. Okay, so here's another one. Wait a minute. Okay. I gotta reach for it. Beth, you have Meeden paper. I love Meeden paper. You have, I don't think it's in this bag. Remember I told y'all I was inspired by baskets. Anytime you see a basket, tell Dawn, gotta call Dawn's name. Here's a basket that has paper in it. But I thought it was in here. But Meeden, yeah, there it is. So do you have the cold press Meeden? Is this the one you have? because I think that's what you had. I knew I was gonna I was gonna scroll back and pull it up, but then I was like, nah, I'm gonna go live. We'll just get it. So Meeting I Love, and um, you got the watercolor card stock, which is good if you have the Tim Holtz pencils. This paper is yummy, and it will do good on it. But the other one, you had a question, and I want to say, oh my goodness, which one was it? Can't remember. Okay, I know it was this one. 100% cotton. You got 100% cotton. Okay, that's what it was. I needed to be reignited with my thoughts. It came up. It just popped up. Okay, the 100% cotton. I'm not sure if this was folded, because I folded some paper and put in there. Okay, that's the B paper. See, I'm talking to myself, guys, as I talk to y'all. Okay, the B paper. That was this paper folded up. You got this paper. You already had this paper, and you got the other. Okay, cool. Now, what I wanted to tell you, because your question was about the texture. That's what, when you said that, I was like, yes. Like, if you could have really heard me talking to you while I was listening to that video, you'd be like, oh, yeah. So that is exactly what I was talking about when I say you have to give watercolor time to get on the paper and show out. It's because if it has a lot of grooves, the texture, and it's all cold press, and then you have one of them I put in there, it feels, you said it was very smooth. That's the one that I don't like that much, because how smooth it is, right? And the thing of it is there is no, what I've learned, in my humble opinion, all of these that I have is cold press paper, and all of them have a different texture. So this is why I had to do the watercolor paper test to decide which one I wanted to fall in love with. So that's why I gave you different ones, minus this one, the Tim Holtz one. This one kind of, I got this, I had some, but then it went on clearance at Michael's for $3. I was just like, yeah, let me get them. It's a little bit more card stocky, like for the card maker in you. So if you have Tim Holtz pencils, color pencils, or if you have any of the color pencils, they're going to love this paper. Don't ask me why this paper does so much. It's a little different. Well, wait a minute. It's not 140 pounds, I think it. Hold on. Let me see. I think that. Yeah. So this is 118 pounds. So put that on your note, on that sticky note. It's 118 pounds. I was napping until my alarm went off. Yes, companies yes, absolutely. So that's why that's why I sent the different ones, and I want you to really test them out for yourself. And what I like, you might love cotton paper. I just want my watercolor, and I want it to have time to show up, or I want it to have time for me to manipulate it. And sometimes cotton paper kind of, it just kind of don't do that. So that's my answer to some of the questions, or some of the it was a question, it was the observation. And when you had that observation, it's like the paper feels different. I was just like, yes, auntie, yes. But remember the circles. The circles is Fabriano paper, 140 pound. This is my all-time favorite, Fabriano paper. And I can't remember if I put some Fabriano. I pulled out of the basket that you just saw. So whatever was in the basket, I think, except for the Be Inspired. Now, the Be Inspired is the B Company's version that they sell at Walmart. or wherever else. They sell it at Blick too. It's 140 pounds. This Meeden is, but the difference in these two is this is 100% cotton and this isn't 100% cotton. And this one over here is 100% cotton, but what is it? It's something with the texture, something about the pull or something like that is what makes these two kind of different. But if you pull this one, I'm not sure if your pad was a regular pad or if it's a block pad. Was it gouache in the pan she had, Karen? Yes, it was gouache. It was so light. Beth was scared to put to slap some paint on some paper. I was going to get to that. But she answered her own question also in the video later on. She's like, I got to get over the fact that you put it in a pan and you think like with acrylic, it doesn't behave like acrylic. Once you put some acrylic down, you're done pretty much, you know. But with this, we're going to wake this back up. And we're going to wake this back up. And it's been sitting here because I've done videos all weekend. And so I put some little bit new in there. And we're going to wake it back up. That's the love of the difference between acrylic and watercolor and gouache. You can wake it back up. It's like a newborn baby. Like it wakes up every 2 hours, or you can wake it up or whatever, right? That's what I love about it. So Beth, you can use more. Don't be scared that you don't have any more. That what I sent you in those little pans, it'll go a long way. I don't care how, especially since they dried and they look like they traveled well. Because when you open them up, there wasn't a whole lot of sticking and seemed like you went in great with it. Oh, excuse me, guys. Ooh, I don't know where that come from. Probably all that water I've been drinking. So, I'm going to do two things right now. But if you guys are going to hang out with me, I'm going to be here maybe for a minute. We're going to hang out. Kind of do 2 lives in one. You can hang out. If you can't, no worries. Catch the rest. Catch me on the replay. I didn't put this back. No worries. Let me show you something. This is gouache. Like going in. This was the palette. This is actually what this is. So this is what I used yesterday morning. It's good and dry, right? This is gouache. This one's going to get some more paint is going to get slapped across this. Oh, Beth, is Sophie around? Because I'm going to slap some acrylic across this. Let her know ahead of time. But this one is a combination of my Rosa Gallery and my gouache, my Utrecht gouache. The other thing, Beth, was you had asked, one of the questions you had asked, the watercolor does have more pigment the gouache has more pigment and is a little bit more chalkier than watercolor. And you can kind of see on here. And also, as a matter of fact, this one also has the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils that's on here too. So this is 3 different mediums. So we have watercolor, gouache, and watercolor pencils. And then we're going to slap some paint across it. Okay, so Sophie, don't be mad. I'm going to slap some paint across here, but I've shown you it's going to be okay. This one inspired by Dawn. Dawn sent me her peonies, tomato, pecan. And this is one that I did because hers, oh my God, they're so beautiful. We're going to slap something across here because it didn't get, or I might cut it out and do some ATC cards. Not sure. This one also inspired by Dawn, peonies. Same. I got on a peony grant. That one, I love this one. This was the ending of it because I put the little stuff in it. But this one also is gouache and watercolor. Now, if you want more vibrancy, if you want more tooth to your watercolor, that's when I would say go and put some gouache on top of it, or not. Hey, Ivy Pearl, how are you? And this one, again, gouache and watercolor. So gouache and watercolor marries well. Gouache makes watercolor show up like she is going to the belle of the ball. Like it just does its thing. This is just so daggum vibrant, right? Just love it. And then there's, again, just having fun layering. So the layering on the top is the gouache. The base was watercolor, but the actual top was just me kind of putting some gouache on there. These will be turned into a junk journal. Y'all know I'll take them all and still use them to use my pages, because remember, let's see, do I have one up here? Here's a junk journal. I don't think this one, oh no, this one isn't the one. This one has envelopes, but you get to see what we do. Just take them in, take our art, and I still take it, cut some stuff out, put it on there. Pockets. Dawn loves pockets. We love pockets. And, yeah. Oh, she's cute. My practice strokes, right? Slide them in the pocket. All my girls, practice. And then these envelopes, some of them these have acrylic, so what you see on the envelopes is actually acrylic. Just to decorate them, because they were just regular old brown envelopes, and I decorated them. This was made from a bag. Turned it into a little book. Slapped some gesso on it. And just, didn't think about it much. It has darkness on it, so that means when I did this, anytime, I don't know if y'all remember, or if you're new to the channel, anytime you see dark in anything that I do, that means I was trying to get out of a funk. That means I was in a way, feeling a way, and looking at that lets me know. And I remember when I did this was an Old Navy bag that I turned into a book. Just a little book, and I needed to put some inserts in there. So I stuck it in here. It'll get finished. But yeah, this is my work actually printed. I scanned it and then printed it out on clear sticker paper. So that's that. Yup. Some gesso pages. Love this. It feels so good. You can hear that crunchiness. Oh, she's cute. Oh, yeah, I remember doing that one. Yep. Oh, this one was for my birthday month. I remember that. Yep. 2/17. That's my day. A queen was born on that day. That also, my artwork, scanned and printed out. So, my point of showing you this is, when you take all your practice sheets, don't discard them. Don't throw them over in a pile. Use them and make a book out of them. That's that one. Remember I told you guys about my baskets? So every time we have something, we have a basket. And remember I say, every time you see a basket, you have to say what? What do you say about a basket? Because it was inspired, and that is, thank you, Dawn. I love that journal. This is a basket full of goodies. I finally updated my website with all my journals. It's like, you got this stuff, Karen. What are you doing? Holding on to it? So I also did that this weekend. Okay, so we got, take your art, do this. Take your art, see, right? Thanks, Dawn. There you go, Beth. And do little stuff and then put it in little frames. These little frames, I got these actually from the dollar store. And I put my art in there, practice, cut them out, and make little, and you know, you possibly can gift them. This was a junk journal, not a junk journal. This is an art journal that I created from leftover scraps. But the one that I want to share, yeah, these are already done. There we go. These are in the shop. And this one, and this one. Yeah, look at the texture on this puppy. I did this one morning with Dawn and T. So, all the texture on there. But I also took my artwork and made it into, I love Coptic and kettle stitching. So I just took it and put it in there. Once I finished with the paper pad, that's the cover, was the actual paper pad of this in particular book, which was, looked like it was some Canson. And I took my artwork and I put it in here. That gives me pages on the back if I want to use the back or journal or create something else. Or if I possibly take it to a craft show, see all your scraps, everything you practice on, it now becomes your artwork. It now becomes the book of your journey to where you're going, because you get to look at where you've been. You get to look at, oh, I did this day. Oh, I did that. Oh, look, my strokes are getting better. Like, you can't tell me nothing about my leaves because I already know. I spent a lot of time on my leaves. I got my leaves. And so I get to, this one was a swatch. I swatched. And then you see the dark. I went over it. But it came out. I slapped some white, slapped some paint on it. So all of these, this is me trying to get, now this is a practice because I'm trying to get the bouquets. So that's my thing, is trying to do bouquets the way I want them. And I'm trying to find my own niche about it, not the way other people do it. So, and it's working, kind of. That's a clear indication. I feel like, but that one, see, also roses, nah. Somebody be like, oh, those are beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not what I want. But I do not take it for granted, right? Right. Okay, guys, I have a question for you as we flip through these things. What do you do when the dream you had feels like it's gone? That's what I'm really motivated about for today. Watercolor was not really a dream of mine. I did painting and I did art and scrapbooking and all the things when my kiddos was little. Now this page is yummy. And it wasn't a dream of mine to become an artist, but here I am, done popped out in the world doing the things. I'm just gonna put these up here because they're pretty much the same thing. I just want you to see how I've taken them and kettle stitched them and turned them, took my artwork, every page y'all see me create on, and I've put it into a journal. So these are considered, because they're already done, they're considered junk journals, right? This one had trust on there, but the letters have fallen off. And this one, some of these things are back here. They go way back. Like my peonies. This is a peony journal. Journey, rather. A little, oh, that's pretty. I don't know. And see, this is what I want you to do. I want you to keep it. And then that way you can go back and amaze yourself. Wasn't happy with that. Yeah. This paper is Fabriano. Fabriano paper I pretty much can tell because it has a lot of tooth. So the paper, when you can feel it and really feel it, I personally can tell. The rougher it is, the rougher it looks. It's cold pressed, but it is Fabriano paper. And it's something that Fabriano does with their paper that I can't really, I can't remember. Look, do I have a Fabriano paper pack near me? Do I? Oh, I know what it was. Beth, You have, I sent this paper, that very, very sheer paper, that one that was really, really sheer. This is Blick, that's Blick brand. I think I put it on there. But it's cold press and it's 140 pounds. And I wanted to talk about that today because this daggone paper here is so slick. That is actually what hot press paper feels like. So what this one feels like when you pull this one back out, that's from Blick. And how smooth it is, that's what hot press paper feels like. And I definitely don't like hot press paper. Hot press paper just, it don't have no grooves. I like for my watercolor to go in some grooves. Go in a pocket somewhere. So yeah, this one just has paper. So there we go. So that's what I wanted to encourage you to do, right? So slap and paint on paper is not just about painting. I create books with the artwork sometimes that I've done and turn them into a junk journal. And I think these, I'm not sure if I put these out to be, because somebody, the junk journals could take this and still create in it on top of the watercolor. Look at that. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, isn't it smooth? That paper is just too doggone smooth. And I've already slapped some paint on the paper and it was okay, but let's pull it out. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share. But I want you to know, if y'all feel like putting in the chat, what do you do? Or think about a dream that you've had in life. Like, because we're talking about life after 40, minus Sophie. Or it could be some other young people that happen to scroll through my live or whatever and be like, I ain't 40, but I that resonates with what I'm saying. What she's saying resonates with me. So, but for me, when I give my perspective, as for me and my humble opinion, it comes from life after 40. This paper is too smooth. I'm going to see if I can show you instead of telling you. We're going to use watercolor and gouache. We're going to slap some paint on some paper. And we're going to talk about them dreams. What dream did I quietly say earlier that I wanted to be? Who remembers what I wanted to be? Put it in chat. Team Replay, if you're still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Thank you for your watch time. I do not take it for granted. And Team Replay, if you are not subscribed to the channel and you would like to be live, just subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. And that way, when I do go live, hopefully, prayerfully, you will be notified so that you can join us here in the studio where we heal one brushstroke at a time. All right, I'm going to, let me see. Yeah, even as I look at this paper, it's just like, ugh. I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to use a filbert brush. And we're going to use purple. Let's wake it up, wake it up, wake up, wake up. Little Susie, wake up. Don't ask me where that come from. I don't know. I need some more. Let's go in there. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Oh, wasn't that pretty? I want to paint some bouquets too. Yes. I haven't used hot press paper yet, but I am thinking I'll like it. Maybe because all of my marker work is in the past. Okay, then Ivy Pearl, you will like hot press paper. That is exactly what all the marker worlds kind of is hot press. So you will like it then. If you've used the marker paper, you'll like it. All right. Excuse me. This one, I need to keep up. This is B paper. B paper. Cotton paper. Because I will forget where I got it from. That's why I sent along with the, each piece was a sticky note for Beth. All right. Oh, we got to slap them on at the same time. I tried to use, I've been using it. All right, let's see if this is going to work. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to spray. We're just going to. You immediately saw the difference. I hope you did. I hope you saw that magic. I really hope you did. Because I sprayed water and I put in both of them. See how this one just runs away? There's nowhere for it to go in, no cracks, no grooves. It's just running. And this one, you see, it's in craters. Like it's inside. I don't know how to explain it. It didn't run away. There's a difference in the two. This one is a little bit more like it just ran away. It didn't want to stay. It turned 18 and just got gone. Well, this one is still kind of hanging close to, waiting to see what else is going to go. Are we going to add more water to it? What are we going to do? As to this one, but in its spot, it still does good in its spot, but it's dried up already, which I didn't like. This one right here is still a little wet. So when I come back over here and continue, it's still ready to be manipulated. Whereas over here, it's just laying down. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can really, really see it and see the grooves. But this one, I mean, it's pretty. Don't get me wrong. I'll use it, but I'll just pay attention to how I can't really manipulate it for the way I like to draw my petals and draw my things. See, that's wet. And see, it's literally sucking it up. This paper is just sucking it up. This one over here, not so much, still wet. So then I can go back in and do something like this. Let's get another brush. I can do this because it's still a little wet. And then over here, see, it won't do. So that's when you talk about paper, ask yourself, what are you going to do with the paper? And it might not matter. What I'm saying might not matter to you, right? And see, look, up there. See, it's just, you're going to see it. Now, this is also the gouache. So that's another thing. That's gouache. So we tried the gouache out. All right. Now I'm going to... Oh, I hope I ain't got no people that the water will make you go tinkle, tinkle. I'll stop slapping water around. Let's pull up Rosa Gallery. So my whole point, I'm sorry, I kind of let that go. The point was when you have life, y'all know me, we're talking about life after 40, and you have a dream. So the thing I wanted to be the lawyer, and the reason I was okay with getting that rejection letter from Syracuse University was because in order to be denied, they had to have read over my application, looked at my thing, and the denial letter didn't just come with, oh, you're denied or whatever. It came with at this time, what it was. It's like your application, you have to write you send your resume. My resume with life was great. My what's the other thing? You had to write a essay. They commented each thing. So it's like, okay, well, you took the time to hang out with my stuff. That right there was enough for me. Like I didn't have the longing to want to go to law school anymore. I defeated the thing that someone said once upon a time I couldn't do, right? And so I still thought about maybe, but Syracuse University was my number one pick. It was the only pick. I didn't have nowhere else I wanted to go. And then once I got to Alabama, I thought about going to University of Alabama, and I was like, no, even Roll Tide wasn't going to take away Syracuse. Why? Because Syracuse was going to have it to where I could get a Juris Doctorate all in one. Like I wasn't going to just go to law school. And so, and they was going to take my life experience and add it to the degree. I got a lot of life experience. So that's why I was pleased. And that's why I loved my rejection letter or my not at this time letter from Syracuse University. It was not that I wasn't good enough. It was that it wasn't my time, you know. And I was okay with that. So when you think about a dream that's lost, sometimes it's a career that you didn't chase. A lifestyle we imagine before kids, before loss or before life happened, a lifestyle that we imagined when we had kids, and the kids just didn't get the memo and don't know how to follow the plan of what we plan, the expectations, right? Doesn't mean that you can't go back, right? That version of you maybe wasn't ready for that dream. I don't think I was ready to be a lawyer. I think I would have at the time probably been a little bit too haughty or been a little bit too sassy or a little bit too, oh, who, I don't know. But who I am now, I get to love who I am now. I don't have to deal with people, because I want to do um, defense. I want to do defense. So you don't have to deal with that kind of stress. Now, got another question. What's something you used to dream about but don't talk about anymore? Now, that's a little different caveat right there, right? I don't like the sizing on some brands of paper. The sizing on some brands of paper? Are you talking about small paper, big paper? The sizing, meaning literally the sizing. I think that's what we're talking about. But that's where I was. I had stopped talking about being a lawyer for years, like years. Like it never came up. And then when my son was murdered, it popped back up, and I said, if I would have been a lawyer, there's so much I could do, so much I felt like I could do, and so therefore it got reignited by a loss. Life's tragic situation brought it back up, right? So for me, what it did do for me was let me know that it wasn't that I wasn't smart enough or whatever, or it wasn't that I couldn't take the test and pass. The LSAT isn't a pass or fail test anyway. So, but instead of researching, I went on with, I let somebody speak over my life, and that's how that went. But here we are now. We get to decide if we do want to go back to law school. We can. It still can. The coding is the sizing. The sizing they use on the surface. The sizing they use on the surface of the paper. Okay. The sizing. I feel you. Oh. Okay. So this is actual acid free. Cold press. This one is European. And it's 100% cotton. 140 pounds. And this one, I think that's what y'all are talking about, like the acid. Sizing is a substance, that is added. Yeah. Yes, each type and brand. Yes. Okay, so that's where the difference. Yes, I got you, Dawn. I got you. Okay, so that sometimes makes when the paper shows up differently. Hence why the watercolor will move. Yes. Which in terms that and whether how it's the toothiness of some companies use. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. Some companies use poor quality sizing that fails before you can use. Yes, and ship. Yes, okay. So, which is why that is a good point, guys. I am so glad that you guys said that because that is why my humble opinion loves what I love because of that. And when I say that, for Team Replay or for the people that's on the replay is not going to get the conversation that's going on in the chat. Hate when that happens. But I can do this. We can do that. Close we can. Hold on. Did it come up? No, it didn't come up because I wanted to. Well, I thought that was supposed to put it up there. I ain't done that in a while. There we go. Okay. Sizing, yeah. And then it will not let me put up 2. So we're going to put up what Dawn said because that does make a difference when people are talking about papers. And then the other one, poor quality sizing that fails before you can even use it. Hence is, now when we're talking about that, these two right here, this right here is not about the sizing. This here right here is more about, this one just don't, it's just not rough paper. I mean, not rough, it's just not cold press. It's just not cold press. And it's a Blick brand, so let's just, let's stick to that. But let me show you so we can let me just stop talking real quick because I got excited about telling you the rest of the story. Now, you see that, and I need to make sure you see that. Y'all see that? Okay. Just want to make sure it's in focus because my desk is only so wide. Now, you see how that watercolor, ain't got nowhere to go? See? Watch this. Right? Now watch this right here. Okay? Just ain't got nowhere to go. It ain't nothing catching it. Right? And I like to do my blooms. Okay? So that's that. All right. And then when you come over here, and do the same stroke. Look, see how my brush even getting caught on the paper. Put some more water on there. See, you can see the paper. You get to see the stuff. You get to see, not the stuff, but you get to see. Watch this. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's where the magic comes in. That watercolor gets to show out. But if the paper isn't really what you want it to be, this is what happens. See, look at this one. See how it's just sitting there and it's just the blob. You see the difference in it. Look at that one. And look at that one. Now, if that's what you want, and when I'm saying we're talking about dreams in life and painting, they are so similar. That's why I love the watercolor. Watercolor shows up. Remember when I told you watercolor just like Jesus, it is so forgiving, right? And the paper you're using gets to really help it show out. See how that's going up there? It just does its thing. It just shows out. I don't know how to put it no other way. But let's do this one so we can still do the same comparison. See, it's not as runny. Let's get some more pigment because I want to kind of give it the same flavor. Oh, that's a lot of pigment. I feel it. See? So I don't think the sizing, I think it's just, okay, the sizing. So yes, there's no sizing on this paper. None. It just feels like hot press paper. And so my point of really showing you guys this is the paper, and more so because these are the pieces of paper that I sent Beth, and when she gets ready to slap them down, I didn't want it to be a big shock of like, why is it this one performing like maybe one of the other ones? So this one, the sizing, when you're saying this just performs like hot press paper. So Beth, when you get ready to use this one, what they're talking about sizing, to me, let's look at it this way. Sizing is the size of the holes in the paper, the size of the gravity of what it feels like, or the roughness, or maybe that's the way I get that. So it's just laying on the paper, and that's how hot press paper performs. I tried to find some hot press paper, but by the time I got ready to go live, I forgot. Watercolors are out here representing the Lord. Yes, they are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, so Beth, it was more so that these two pieces of paper, when you get ready to put down, and you were using Meeden, and Meeden has a good, it has a not too big, not too. The sizing of Meeden is good. But the B paper and the Meeden paper are probably going to perform about the same, which is why and then if you use the circles I gave you, which is going to be double-sided. Some papers don't have sizing on both sides. Some papers are not rough, or they're very, very smooth on the other side. Had to pay attention to that. It depends on who you get your paper from, right? And I want to say, who is these people? I'm trying not to slosh that water around because I didn't even think about people that be listening and gotta go tinkle tinkle. I want to say, let me see. Where is my? Oh, I moved it to pull up the basket. Ivy, listen, watercolor usually represents a lot for me because it starts showing up when it started talking to me. My watercolor and my mixed media. Acrylic wasn't really talking. Oh goodness, come on, go in there. And I love blocks because the paper doesn't. Another one of my favorite brands is Academy. Academy is not so much on the other side. Now this cotton paper that I did send you, Beth, you can use both sides of it. So if you choose to want to like paint something on this side, fold it in half, you can use both sides. Like if you want to slip it in a journal, it's on both sides. Fabriano is both sided. The two circles I sent, they're double sided. I can't remember if I sent Academy, but it's duo, same thing. And the B paper, same thing. And being that this one, if you fill the front of that slick piece of paper and fill the back, if you'll feel the difference. There's just a slight, like it's very, very, very minimal. So to Dawn's and Ivy's point, the sizing, and I said there's no sizing on this paper, so definitely don't do anything on the back with paint. Maybe acrylic, or maybe the gesso. Well, you already see what the gesso did. The gesso did better than the watercolor. I can say that. So maybe since you have the gesso, you can use the gesso. I'm not sure. But I do know when I get to slapping some paint on some paper, I just don't have time for it to sit there and be looking at me and be like, well, what you going to do next? I want it to perform a little bit and be like, okay, I've kind of finished this petal out. Go over that way a little bit. Oh. So when you look at paper, my whole point in that paper rant is to go down the rabbit hole for yourself. Don't take my word. Don't take somebody else's word. Be able to speak on it for yourself. That way, you can say what you like and what you don't like, and why you like it and why you don't like it. Now, I will say that Dawn, since they brought up sizing, that is, I'm here, I'm still here, just making dinner. Oh, that's fine. The thing that what Dawn and Ivy are talking about, that makes a difference. It really does. Maybe apply some watercolor ground. I don't have time to do that. You see what I'm saying? Because if I get to applying stuff to watercolor, now I'm doing mixed media, and when I'm doing watercolor, I don't want to do all that. And that's just me. But for somebody else, Ivy said maybe apply some watercolor ground, which could help. But the thing of it is, it ain't my watercolor, it's the paper. And so I personally can just go and just buy Fabriano or buy Academy or buy Meeden. I can just buy the paper that I love. And that way I ain't got to do all that other stuff. And that's just me. That's just me and my world. If I spend too much time doing other stuff, I don't want to do it. But that's a good maybe in the future. I'll get some watercolor ground and think about it. Because basically, what I just heard you say is go outside, get some dirt, mix it with your watercolor, and slap it on your paper. That's what I just heard. And that maybe is not what ground is. I've never really honed in on the ground. But this is what I like my watercolors to just show out. Like, I got time. We want to create joy. And we're trying to heal one brushstroke at a time. And that probably would frustrate the heck out of me. Like that. So, there we go. Now we're going to let that dry. So I'm going to do left side is Rosa Gallery. Right side is Utrecht gouache. This one is a gouache. This one is Rosa Gallery. So should have did that the opposite way, but oh well. No worries. Slap the brush down. Oh, see, yes, it just feels so much better. When you can see it, it's just like, whoa. Now the other flower that I've been hanging out with has been, Lord, I can't think of the name of it. Let's just go put some petals right there. Slap that down. Push that back up there. And boop, 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 boop. Just. Boop, 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 boop. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. Boom. There we go. Love it. Hey, Maddie, how are you? How was this weekend? How was everything? Buy the paper, like, yeah. But Ivy Pro, that's a good thought though. And when I feel like, I guess I'm not gonna say I won't try it, but I feel like I will try it because I do have a lot of paper. I have probably maybe 100 sheets of paper that like I don't use because I don't like the way it shows up. I don't like the way it performs. And so if that might help me use that paper and at least slap some paint on it and make a journal out of it, then I could do that. But when I tell you the paper just made me just so and I was just like, nope, ain't got time for that. I'm trying to be in a raw mood, not a mood. So that's just how that goes. We had a lovely time. Oh man, I thought about you. I was just like, oh, I just pray that everything is going great. And then another friend of mine, her son got married Saturday. Lakeisha's son Grant, he got married, and I was just like, oh, that's so neat. All this lovely stuff that's going on. All right, so Maddie, we were just over here showing paper because Beth, if you've seen Beth's video, she got some happy mail, and I'm playing with gouache and playing with watercolors, and excuse me. Now we're gonna pull out this one. We're back to gouache, and y'all can see I stuck to my B paper, but I want that to dry, so I'm gonna pull out the cotton paper. Let's move this one. And if you happen to be in the chat or if you're on Team Replay and you're like, I was wondering why such and such and such or whatever. I hope me, Dawn, Ivy, all of us, we kind of help you navigate through that paper journey. Um, so that way it can help you to decide what you like, because we don't want you to hoard your craft supplies, or we don't want you to not have fun. I want you to, like, when you slap some paint on the paper, I want you to be like, oh my God, look at that. Oh, that's so fun. And then I want you to look back at it and be like, oh, I did that. Not, oh, that stressed me out, right? And that's just really what I want. So that's why I have a little bit more of kind of, let's chat about it or let's talk about it in life or in the watercolor world. Because today, like I said, we're talking about those dreams, a lifestyle we imagine, like before we had kids, when we had kids, before we even grew up, or that dream. Like I used my example of wanting to become a lawyer. And I want you to think about, like, what is that thing? Or what is that thing? Because the dream isn't lost, right? The dream is still there. You, depending on what your dream was, now, I don't know. Some people maybe had a dream of doing something that maybe age limited them. And, maybe they can't. So that's a little bit different. But that doesn't mean the dream has to go away. That just means maybe you need to modify the dream. How about that? Not that it's gone. Like going to law school, it's available. It's as long as I want to go to law school, it's still available to me. There's no I can't go to law school. There's no such thing, right? So I can do it if I choose to want to, right? So I'm not worried about it. But is there anything else that maybe I wanted to do? I don't know. I don't think there is. And that's why when I was talking about this, talking about the dream and all the things, I just kind of had to be like, no, I think I'm right where I want it to be. Can you guys recommend any channels that can teach me how to paint florals? Well, I'm not going to recommend any channels, but I can recommend my Patreon. In Patreon, you get taught all the things, but other than that, Emma LaFave, Emma LaFave. It depends on what kind of florals you want too. So that's another thing. What kind of florals you want? So you got like tight knit, which is another thing. How do you want them to look? Like if you want them to be like the ones that I paint, or if you want them looser. This one actually is one that I actually taught in my Patreon. So this one was done in Patreon. And we got to talking because this one was with gouache. And this one is also on that paper that I was telling you guys about. That has the sizing on this paper is amazing, which is that paper. And I found me some more packs. That one, I feel like that's not the one. No, it's not. I'll take that back. This one. This one was done in my Patreon. And this one was done in my Patreon. And we use gouache. Remember, I married my gouache and my watercolors. And then putting the finishing touches on. So that's what I did. But the teaching part goes on more peonies, hydrangea, roses, etc., and leaves. Yeah, so those, those are mine. But when you say you want to do them, so my question, I guess, is do you want them to be loose, or do you like a tighter feel, or like how do you want your flower? What is your end result? This one's a little tight. This is more loose. And it could get looser than that. And if you want looser than that, I'm not your gal. Because that will be a wet on wet. And whoa. Then you really that's when cotton paper is not your friend for that. Because when you're doing wet on wet, like this one has already dried. So now I'm going to go back over it. Because I want the details to kind of be a little petalish-y, if that's a word. And then we'll let that dry. I think Um, oh, thank you, Beth. I think my lives. I think they give you a foundation. I think they give you a good starting point. But if it's something that you're looking for more directional, then I would suggest joining my Patreon. But really have an idea of what you want the end product to look like. Like this one is wet, wet. That was wet. And yeah, I kind of like wet. I do like wet. Um, I just don't like wetty wet. But you know, and then what do you want it to look like when it dries? Like I want mine to look when I put it in frames. I want it to be like this. This is watercolor, and this one is watercolor. So my end result is to you know, kind of the end result is kind of to I need it to look a certain way. And I also do another thing. So let me show you this. Um, and this will help too. My flowers get put on product that my daughter sublimates for me on journals. So again, I don't need it to be that wet look. Like these are a perfect example. This was wet, and this was more of my style of painting. And I like this journal. Don't get me wrong. It's just that compared to the two, I like this one better than this one, right? So that's what I'm saying. And so my end result is a little bit of I put it on product. So my cup, see, and these two go together. So these are the same part. I like it on the cup, but on the journal it just shows more of. I just critiqued myself. I'm not going like why I did what I said. I'm not going to worry about it. They're beautiful. But Ivy Pearl, when you asked the question about, you know, I just really wanted to know how. And if you evidently are still here, you evidently like the way I slap paint on paper. But if there is more that you want more loosey goosey more, or you want it even tighter, I can do, or I do. But loosey, this is what I call loosey, but not loosey. So anything a little bit more looser and more wet on wet is going to be, um, I would say Emma Faith. She does real loose, which is why I do a little bit of her, but not a lot because it's just too loose. I love Christy Rice. Christy Rice just really gives me permission to just show up and slap the paint on paper and not really worry about the end result. And but now that I know how I want my things to look, it makes a difference for me. So I hope that kind of answered your question and not too much went down that rabbit hole. Not too much. I hope I didn't go too far down the rabbit hole. I hope not. But and also my watercolor is it gives me a message when I'm really painting is like, you know, how would my healing look if I am trying to really get out of a funk if I'm using a lot of water. So again, mine is a little different. My process is a little different. See how this is dry? This is cotton paper. See how you get to do it? Those are two different layers that I just did. And we're going to go in with that squash. And I'm going to go in with, top it off with Rosa Gallery. So you can see how they do marry well. Look at. We're just kind of going to slide that up there. Just kind of pedal it in. Now, y'all, let's talk about the cruise. I am ready to go on the cruise. I have kind of packed clothes. My suitcase is packed, which it wasn't, and I was a little anxious. Now, look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty? Look how that watercolor sits on top of that gouache. or vice versa. You can do it both ways. Okay. I'm having a hard enough time keeping up with YouTube and Instagram. I can't add any more platforms right now. I'll keep Patreon in mind. So, but I agree, Ivy. I agree with them. So just go back and kind of binge watch the channel. I have them into playlists and go just binge watch the watercolor playlist. And then if you still have questions after that, just send me an email or something. I mean, I get it. Trust me. That's why I don't do Instagram. I do Instagram to keep up sometimes with text messages. Before as doing it, I don't do it like I used to. I'm mostly, this is where you can find me, over here hanging out on YouTube. Like people's like, well, I ain't seen you on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. Catch me on Mondays and Wednesdays hanging out on YouTube. What brand of gouache is used? Oh, that's Utrecht. Utrecht Artist Gouache, which is, this is artist grade. How they say that. So I put a link to it in the description box below. Thank you, Maddie. And this one actually is the mixing set. But you can also get an introductory set, which is just has 6 colors, which introductory are the basic colors. This one is mixing, and I like to mix. So, which is what's in this palette right here. And right now I'm mixing watercolor and gouache on this card with this 100% cotton, because I wanted to show Beth how this paper can be my nemesis. Just like it shows up, but it goes fast. You see, it's already gone. It's like dry. And I like to, like for paper, as I showed you guys already, I like for mine to take its time. There's no rush. There's no rush. So I'm already ready. Like I was saying, I'm already ready. I'm not ready to leave today, but if I had to, I could go in and rush and finish packing my luggage, because my carry-on, from what I'm gathering about the cruise thing, is you don't get your luggage in your cabin right away. So kind of have your carry-on ready for if you want to go ahead and get in the pool, or if you want to, whatever. So I'll have my carry-on. Plus I have to carry my carry-on because I have my meds. So, and I'm not sure if Mr. McCoy is taking his CPAP. We're going to see what kind of marriage decision he's going to make on that, because we're in the same cabin. We're going to see how this is going to work. I think he should, but if he wants to sleep, or I might be so tired I might outsnore him. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so the watercolor. See how the watercolor just shows up and does good. But this one has, as the ladies were talking earlier about sizing on the paper, this one has good sizing. This watercolor paper is different from some other watercolor papers that I've shown you guys in the past. I have a watercolor book that it's not near me right now, but I would flip it up here if it was. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in the room. But it is like cotton. And it's like, time you slap it down, it just absorbs. And I just don't like it. We just explored the ship before the luggage arrived in our room. Right. So that's what, and I'm thinking, Maddie, that's what I kind of want to do. And I don't think I want to get in the pool like right away. I don't think I want to get in the pool. I do want to sit poolside, but I think when I finally get on the ship, I think I want to go find the nearest grown folk situation so I can have a drink and see, get to know people and see where we're going and, that kind of thing. I don't know. But after binging, looking at some suggestions, I've decided that my carry-on will, just in case I decide when I get on there and be like, oh, that pool is pretty, or that, I'll have my bag kind of packed. It'd be like the man on the Green Mile. My bags are packed. Where are we going? On, Billy the Kid on the Green Mile. He's like, my bags are packed, when they put him in that, oh, that's pretty. So that's gouache. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. This is turning out yummy. So outside of that, the house is ready. The dogs, the sitter is coming for the dogs. They're all done. I think the only thing I think I need to make is reservations because we're going in a couple days earlier before sale date, sale before we set sail, and so we'll be in Baltimore because that's where we're leaving port is in Baltimore. I've done my homework on any excursions that I think I want to do. We're gonna go to Crystal Lake, Crystal something, something like that. We're going to the Bahamas. Drinks are everywhere. The waitress come to your poolside. Listen, that's the kind of life I want, girl. Yes, just a tad. But the I was checking out. I'm going with Royal Caribbean, and being that I'm a diabetic, I only do organic. I don't need all the fillers and fluffs and whatever. So I was looking at their listing and they don't have. I'm hoping when I get there it's a little different, maybe. But if they don't have, if it doesn't come organic or whatever, because that doesn't bother with my blood sugar. So I can do. They got tequila. As long as they got tequilas, I'll be okay. Because tequilas don't have a whole lot of additives and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't need all the fillers. And maybe just 1 or 2 days of hanging out, and then after that, I don't know. We sail, then we port for a day. I After looking at the people around and talking, I'm okay with maybe having an excursion. Oh, you went on Royal Caribbean? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So that works out. But look at this. So, Beth, I want you, this is what I want you to do, Beth. I want you to get your paper. And I want you to tell your paper, talk to your paper, and be like, I'm getting ready to slap some paint on you. I'm going to saturate you. You are going to fall in love with every brushstroke that I make. Okay? Then I want you to get your little palette, your little one, and just spray it, wake it up. Like take it and put some water in there. Generous, not a whole lot of water, just enough to get it moving around in there. And you can do what you did with your little trays. I loved your little trays, and just kind of have it like this. But what I want you to do is to make it so keep going, like make it till it is so woke. Then I want you to slap it down and really see it work. That's the part that makes gouache look like acrylic because oh well, let me go on over here. It went over there. You get to add you get to see the pigment. Let's put that one down there. We're just gonna slap some leaves on here, but you get to see the more I take these and add, the lighter it's gonna get. The more I keep doing it in the spot. So I want you to keep going in there and then kind of go around and drop some in there. Look at that. Oh, look at that leaf. Just wake up. And this is a good paper. So you can use either one of your papers. It doesn't matter. Or use your meeting paper. Doesn't matter. But the more pigment you put down on the paper, the more it's going to show up and start talking to you. And you're going to be like, ooh. And then it's going to inspire you to just kind of draw some more lines and do some squiggly stuff. Tequila, she ain't playing around. Tequila is just more natural. That's all. I like actually my alcohol of choice is Casamigos, but I'm a whiskey girl and a brandy girl, so I love Macallan, Macallan 25. So don't y'all look, don't y'all judge me, cause Jesus turned water into wine. So you probably be like, but that ain't wine. Well, but Macallan, I like Macallan. I put Macallan in my coffee when I do open it up. I haven't opened a Macallan up in a while. I got about 2 or 3 of them in there. I collect the bottles. Okay. Oh, see what I'm saying? Even when I could drink, I was a lightweight. Pina colada for me. I didn't start drinking until I was what, almost, I was 25. Yeah, no, I ain't there yet. I don't do it. So here's the thing. I think because, and listen, I'll tell you guys how that worked out when I get back. Because drinking is like, um, I had alcoholics in my family. So I started late and I do it very sparingly because I need to be in control. So therefore, I always drink stuff that's not going to make me, how can I say, not lose control, but not going to get me drunk. Like I can sip, like on a whiskey, you don't drink whiskey. And you pretty much, other than an old fashioned, you don't really do a whole lot of mixing and all the things. I would love to mix up some things. Like right now, I have a drink that I put some strawberries and a limoncello in the refrigerator, and it's been sitting there. It's going to be nice and potent because I just didn't have the desire to, want to drink. But sometimes, so I guess you can say I'm a social drinker. That's what I'm learning. When I have people at the house and we sit down and have a chat. But other than that, just going to just sit in the and drink. Maybe my beers, but they're the beers that come from I told you about the brand that I get from Germany. That's German beer, which is has lemonade in it. But and remember, I told somewhere along the line, I stopped doing all the things when I got back in the church, right? And then I let the church folks make me feel bad about uh, doing things that wasn't pleasing to them, the things they deemed a sin. Let's just drop that right there, and that's all we're gonna say about that. And so I had to have developed this relationship with God, and we had this conversation. And he reminded me, it's like I sent my son, my only son, to die for sin. So that's how that went. Okay. And then after I became, in 2013, 2014, when I got, more diagnosed of being more not a borderline diabetic and needed to watch some things, I was like, okay, well, he was like, well, drinking, you don't need to drink a lot of this and this. And he gave me the different things. I was like, well, I don't really drink anyway. Right. So it wasn't one of the things I really concentrated on. But so I think I'm more of a social drinker, but I do love a good drink every now and then. And now that I know that the Lord is not gonna just smite me down because I chose to have a drink. Okay, let's put a center in this one. But and that's another thing that I kind of have a conversation, which is real talk for people, is again, you have to do what you have to do for you and your life and what serves you. And then that way you can't say such and such and such did this. Like um that's why I say the church didn't tell me to do this. Bye, Maddie. Oh, my older son is calling. Tell your son hello. Oh, Willie and I share many a bottle of Oh, that's cute. Mind you, not to say there wasn't, doctor's orders, but he said I could drink at the wedding. Look, I had to go back. I had missed all those. We are told to keep a sober mind. I can't do that. The taste. There's some more that goes along with that scripture or goes along with that thing, which was another reason why I got a degree in religious and got my was going for my master's of divinity, because it's like all of that was going on in my life. I had to go. I was just like, God, I just know that you just cannot mean for me to just, I'm going to die and go to hell if I have a drink or if I play cards, like all of the things, if I wear makeup, if I wear pants, like, God, really? Oh my goodness. So yeah, I don't care. Okay, she done. Look at her. Isn't she cute? She cute. I still feel like I could even go on top. Like this is one, I wanted you to see the layers, but look how it also blended in. This is where I'm saying, put your paint down, give it some time to show up and show out, right? Because if you do, this is what you're going to get. it's gonna just gonna make you feel so good about yourself and your abilities. Don't like if Sophie's still here, Beth, I remember when you guys had a little like something like this. This right here just means it too much water and not enough pigment. That's doesn't matter. Let me show you how you fix it. Get you some pigment on your brush. Remember I said watercolor is just like Jesus. It's very forgiving. Watch this. Watch this. Boop 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 boop. Do 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 do. Scratch that brush right there to wake it up. Boom. Just like it never was there. You don't even see it. So, and Sophie had her broad strokes were beautiful. I was just so pleased with her. If that was her first time picking up a brush and painting, she did an amazing job. I also wanted to show Sophie this book that, where is that? Because she was saying she wanted a book to follow. The flower guide, like it doesn't show you how to do it. It just gives you different things that you possibly can, kind of mirror. But don't try to mimic it, like try to make it perfect. Just let the brush move freely in your hand and work it out. Those are the peonies. Peonies. And then these right here, all that is right there is sharp brush strokes. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Foop, 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 foop. That's it. You got to make the sound. Look, that's what Dawn says. Make the sound. Swoop, 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 swoop. That's all you got to do. This just gets prettier and prettier. Well, thank you. Listen, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. And when you take this and compare it to life, this right here is why my self-care isn't selfish. I want to look at this flower later and say that, oh man, I had fun creating that. So this is why I tell you guys to take care of yourselves, because you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Self-care is not being selfish. It's sacred. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't be who you were created to be if you are constantly abandoning yourself for everyone's comfort. That's something I'm learning over here, right? So over here on this channel, it's not just about, painting. We're going to have some real conversations because I want you to return to yourself one brushstroke at a time, right? I want you to look at your painting and be like, I did that. That's what I was like when Sophie was painting. I just wanted to keep encouraging her because I'm like, oh, she is doing the doggone thing, right? And then when you see it and you go back and look at it later and you're like, oh, I did that. Now this is going to get prettier and prettier because it's going to dry, and the gouache, the watercolor is sitting on top of the gouache, so it's going to be even more vibrant, right? Because that's another thing about the gouache. The gouache kind of dries chalky kind of, and the watercolor, it has more of a what's the kind of word I want to use? Like compared to, so maybe gouache is more like pigment concentrated, opaque with a matte finish, and watercolor kind of has more of a watery feel. Maybe that's the word I want to use. Maybe. Like when you're looking at, it can be highly pigmented too. Watercolor can too, don't get me wrong. But that's another thing. It depends on how you choose to use it. Because remember, like some of this here is gouache, and that there is watercolor and gouache mixed together. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference if I didn't tell you, right? So when you're looking at watercolor, right, it's more luminous, more brighter, right? And flatter. I can say that because I think gouache kind of is more bold. And again, it's going to have more of a matte finish depending on what you're using. And I think I can only speak for the Utrecht right now. So that's what we're using, Utrecht Artist Gouache. I haven't tried any other brand of gouache other than my Hemi. and that's real heavy. So, and that's, I think it's more the pigment with the that one. I'm not sure. But both of them have a gum Arabic, watercolor, and gouache, so they kind of perform. But the difference I do know in gouache and watercolors, I mean gouache and acrylics, is gouache can be wakened up. Acrylics, not so much. Like you put a dab of acrylic on a piece of paper, it's there, it's done. Only thing you can do with it is wake it, kind of. You can't wake it up, but you can. Let's see. You can look. This is what. This is some acrylic on here. All I can do with this is cut it out and add it to a page because I'm not going to throw it away. But that's the difference in gouache and acrylic. I can tell you that. So, Beth, get to slapping that paint on that paper. Get to, waking it up, and whatever's left, you'll come back tomorrow, come back the next day, and it'll be ready. It'll be there. And all you got to do is spray it down or take your brush and wake it up, depending on what you want it to look like. Look, let's go in all over here and mix that over there. That's going to give me some colors, and then just do what we do. Slap it down. See how bright that is? And then if we get some more pigment, lay it on there again. There we go. Get to decide. You guys get to decide, right? You get to decide. But long as you're making a decision, that's what I'm happy about. As long as you're choosing to pretty much let go of the things that have not worked out and show up, then it's going to be okay. And as we get ready to go embark on this cruise, and I'm doing something different. Never been on a cruise. And I'm truthfully excited. Now, I have still got a little bit of butterflies, but it's kind of like, you're going out on the first date. You don't know what he's all about. He don't know what you're all about. It's kind of like that. It's not a bad thing. So I'm excited for it. But these are pretty. Now this right here, I'm going to stick in a journal, and let me write the date on it because I will need to know that it was done on YouTube Live. And today is the 23rd and of the year of 25. There we go. That way I won't forget, because I'll forget and be trying to figure out when was that. Here we go. This bee paper, see? Still fun. And again, this is another thing that why I love watercolor. Watch this. Watch this. It wakes back up. Wakes back up. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Look at that. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Depending on how the Wi-Fi is, or what I get to have on the cruise, or once I get in port, um, I'll probably check in. Cause y'all know I like to keep y'all updated. Oh, y'all, I have did a community post. YouTube has this new thing for the community. So even if I don't get to go live, I will be posting over there. So y'all check that out, and let's be engaging over there. And that could be something else, another place where we get to, hang out when I'm not live, or maybe you have a question or something like that. Because I'm not just here. But see how I woke that up? And I said I was going to do something over there, but I didn't. And I meant to. Ooh, that was a lot. Put that over there. Oh, that's pretty. Yellow is my color. We're gonna just slap some paint on some paper with some yellow. Yellow, yellow, kiss a fellow. There we go. Perte. That's what I want y'all guys. When y'all slap that paint down, I want you to come back and be like, oh, I did that. Okay. All right. Sophie is going to be okay because I'm not going to take the time to slap the paint on that paper. But this is what I was going to do. I was going to start something. That blue is nice. What color is that? That blue is, ooh, um, ultramarine. So it's ultramarine in my Rosa Gallery, and it is also ultramarine in, is it ultramarine? Yeah, ultramarine blue in the gouache. So I tried to stick to the same color palette on both sides in doing the comparison. So ultramarine blue in the Rosa Gallery watercolor and ultramarine blue in the Ultrek Arches Gouache, which is a part of the mixing set. So let me be clear on that. The mixing set is a permanent white, cadmium lemon, brilliant yellow, rose tyrene, flame red, turquoise blue, ultramarine blue, and ivory black. Those are the mixing sets. And in the introductory, it's just permanent white, primary yellow, primary red, medium green, primary blue, and ivory black. And you know when you have the primary colors, that's singular. The pigment is PY, PR, PG, PB, and ivory black. Over here, there are, because these are mixed, the pigments are different over here. So, you know, cadmium yellow, to give you an example, cadmium yellow is, well, that one, no, that one's not mixed. This one is, oh yeah, so PB29, which is ultramarine blue, which is when you go into it and look what that is and see what it's mixed up with. But they're great mixing palettes. I love it. I love them. Here she goes. And the other one, I feel like I put it somewhere. Oh, I was going to say it's probably looking at me, and it is, because I wanted to share it, and I wanted to make sure I had it. Mixed media. And this, we're going to take it on in with this one. So this is the one that Sophie was just like, oh my God, that Beth says she just couldn't believe I slapped that paint on there. But you see how it was up, how the gouache, it came back. The flowers, they're back. And once the flowers came back, that's when I took some permanent white and accented it. And this is permanent white gouache that I accented it with so it could pop out. So, and I was thinking about taking this and scanning it. I'm going to scan this in, and I'm going to put it on, I could let my daughter put it on a tumbler or a small, or a journal, because we're going to give it a name. I feel like it needs to have a name. And whatever that live was on Wednesday, probably what I'll name it. Not sure. But yeah, so it came out. You get to see the flowers, even though you thought it was covered up. And if you missed that live, go back to Wednesday, which was what was Wednesday? The 18th, June 18th. I will try to say, I'm not going to even say that I'm going to link it to this video once it comes up, because I probably won't. That's why I had to give you the date. I just bought my first watercolors 3 weeks ago. I bought 21 tubes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Daniel Smith. Oh, and Beth, that's what the little thingies that I sent you, that's what those are, Daniel Smith. And I got those from By the Well for God. They used to send them when they would come. And because I have Daniel Smith, about like what Ivy Pearl just said, I know I'm not going to use them. That's what I just said. So you get to try out Daniel Smith. That's Daniel Smith watercolors. But you get to see what you can do. And this is the mixed media paper. So this one here is rough. So the sizing on this I love for mixed media paper. But I throwed a lot at this. I put ink on it. I put Amsterdam ink on it. I put Ferris Wheel Press ink on it. I journaled on it. There's a whole video, I think, that's coming out of this process. And I took the girls and I put them in there because I wanted them to have some relaxation. I wanted to give them permission to relax and read a book. And so I just slapped them in there too. And this will possibly get, y'all know me, I haven't decided. Once it starts talking to me, then it'll probably get taken out of the book, or maybe it doesn't. For a name for the floor. Oh, Sophie's Surprise. I love that, Dawn. Look at you. Look at you. Yes. I love it. Okay, let me put it on the back. Oh, I did put the YouTube live on there. So the name is going to be Sophie's Surprise. Boom. And there she is. So if whatever reason I decide to take this and put this in my shop and put it up for sale, that's going to be her name, Sophie's Surprise. And if people ask, well, how did it get that name? Then I'd have to tell the story, right? So that's that. But we had to give the girls permission to just relax. And so what I feel like I want to, pretty much leave you guys and tell you guys as I get ready to go on my cruise. I can't say it's a dream cruise. It's on my bucket list of things to do. But neither here or there, but we're going. And what I want you to do is be gentle with yourselves. Nourish your heart. Let go of being stuck. I want you to give yourself permission to heal. Give yourself permission to do what you want to do. Give yourself permission to self-care. Give yourself permission to just be. Even if nothing else comes along, right? It doesn't matter. Give yourself permission to do something different. Give yourself permission to slap paint on some paper and really let it show up. Give yourself permission to hang out by yourself. Give yourself permission to do whatever, I don't know, whatever your thing is. But I want you to heal the mind from whatever could be keeping you stuck. I want you to reclaim your joy. And I want you to flourish. Just like these flowers came to life on this page. That's how I want you to come to life. So when we meet again and when we talk about it, you're going to be talking about how you flourish like the tide. Y'all know the ocean, the tide comes in, it goes out. When the tide goes out, it takes some dirt and some things, all that stuff away. Let that stuff just run away. Let it go away. You don't need it, right? And the season that you're headed in right now is you're planting and you're blooming and we're resting. Flourishing today. Not 5 years ago, what you didn't do, what you coulda, woulda, shoulda. Not that. I really want you to take the time and take my whole life journey, my whole story, and all the things, how I have painted through my emotions, right? And if I could paint my current emotion, right now, I would have pink all over the page. That's probably why that color got chosen. Because I feel I'm tickled pink, right? And during this live, I thank you guys for hanging out. Like, y'all hung in here. And because I'm not going to be here on Wednesday, I was just like, I'm going to hang out in the studio. I'll be done by the time Mr. McCoy comes home. And by then he'll have my lawnmower fixed up. Because after tomorrow I go to the hairdresser to get cute. I'm not going to be out there doing anything. And then we'll be driving to Baltimore. Well, we're going to drive to Charlotte, which is 6 hours. Then we're going to take a day. I hadn't decided if we're going to stay overnight and then proceed. So it'll be 6 and 5. So kind of make a trip within a trip, because driving is another thing that brings me joy. And you know how that works. So later on, I might go outside and I might be live outside in the yard. I'm not sure. Hadn't decided. But I do know it was something that I was finna... Ivy put up there about that daggum, her Daniel Smith. This isn't even all of my Daniel Smith. But Daniel Smith, now you talking about making me feel like I'm a pro? Daniel Smith, when I slap Daniel Smith down on a landscape, be doing some landscaping, Daniel Smith make me think I got this. And I'd be like, oh yeah, this with Daniel Smith, you know. But and Daniel Smith is a granulating as well. Some of it, not all of their picks, not all of them are granulating. These are the last new colors. I put them in here, but I have probably about 15 or 20 that's not even in here. But this is just my Daniel Smith palette. So I love Daniel Smith. Love Daniel Smith. Y'all know my go-to is homemade. I mean handmade, homemade. Which is handmade, which is my handmade. These are all my handmade ones. Handmade. Love handmade. Handmade. And I guess one day I will have to say something about, I need to decide which I don't think I have a favorite. My handmaids are first. They're in a class by themselves. So we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But for my paper, I can say Fabriano is my A number one to go paper. And this paper right here, which I got it off of Amazon, and for the life of me, it doesn't have a name. I will try to go back. Oh yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Doesn't have a name. But I want to say I've also gotten this paper off of Temu. I'm not sure, but this one I got off of Amazon because I was trying some more cotton paper because I know, like y'all said, it had to be a different sizing, and I think it was because this one is a whole lot better. So that's that. That is all of that. All right, guys. All right. Hey guys, y'all get me before I go to the look. I threw the hair in a ponytail. I wasn't working because I was on the lawnmower. Listen, we're gonna cut that down a little bit because that's gonna drive me crazy. I needed y'all to be able to see the desk. Listen. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm not gonna even lie. Already when I was doing my videos, I'm just gonna miss you guys. I already know that I'm gonna miss you guys, and that's just gonna be that. Oh, I'm making a mess. Oh, I forgot to show that one. This one, so with this paper, it's still worked out. But you get to see, let's see. You still get to see that it just sat there. Like I didn't manipulate it. I didn't move it. And it sat there. But when you swoop it around and do all the things, it still did good. So it's pretty. So I still liked it. So we showed up. So I've used it twice. Practiced on it. So it's okay. But would I buy it again? Probably. And it's acid free. I was going to see that. Listen, it says outstanding quality for all watercolor techniques. Cold press, acid free. I might need to go a little deeper with this. See, it has its thing up here. Let's see, watercolor, bristle smooth, mixed media, watercolor. Okay. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Love this one. The Bee Creative. Remember, I love all of the bee paper. But Fabriano is A number one for me. That's just it. We are in love with Fabriano. Oh, there's the other peony. That was the first peony I did. But this paper, this bee paper, the sizing is good. It's good. Okay. That's it. We're not going to go back down that rabbit hole. Okay. Y'all going to miss me too? So tomorrow's Tuesday. I might pop on here after I go get my due date and all the things. Maybe. Not sure. It depends on if I get a lot of packing done. If I get some stuff done, then I will. But for the most part, I don't know how the internet is going to be. I'm not going to say that I'm going to unplug 100%. I'm not going to say I'm going to be that person that's going to unplug 100%. I will possibly do some videos so that maybe when I do get some internet or whatever, or use my internet very sparingly, that I will, so that I can kind of, still show up. Because I've gotten accustomed to doing certain things, right? And creating joy happens to be a part of my journey. And Creating Joy over here on YouTube just happens to be where it is. So, keep the bell notifications. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and hit that bell notification all, so that when I do go live, get that notification. Hopefully, if you have it. Or you be like everybody else, set your alarm, but you can't kind of set your alarm for the next 2 weeks because I don't know. But I am going to try to utilize the community that we do have here on YouTube to kind of give you maybe a heads up that I'm going to go live. Maybe that'll help, right? So I want to leave you with this question. Y'all know I always like to leave you with a question. What is your ultimate dream vacation? And I'm going to answer mine now. My ultimate dream vacation is, I feel like there's so much light back there, it's kind of wiping me out. My ultimate dream vacation is, oh Lord, I want to go to Greece, but that's not my ultimate. It's, where's this place called? Oh my goodness. If I wouldn't have asked the question, it would have popped up. But Greece is where I want to go, but it's my top 3. It's Greece. I want to go to, not Dubai, Bali. I want to go to Bali. And I want to go to, no, that's not it. That's in Jamaica. Don't want to go to Ochos Rios. No. It's in the Caribbean. It's in one of those islands, where people you get your own cabana, like you're out on the water, that kind of thing. But Bali and Greece, those are some of my ultimate. The other places I just want to go and live, and I've been and I love Paris. Again, I've been to Paris probably about 6, 7, maybe 8 times. I feel like it's more than that. But you know what they say, and Italy, all those places. So that's my question for you. And once this video goes up and go live, if you would do me a favor and come back and comment under this live, I'm going to put the question I'm going to pin it in the comments after the live, and I want you to comment under the video. So that way it'll start some traction for it, and then other people will see that you guys have already commented, and then maybe they'll comment, because I'm curious. I want to know what people's dream vacation is. Australia. I used to want to go to Australia until I found out the most deadliest snake lives and resides in Australia. I didn't want to go hang out on their beaches anymore because it was literally on the beach. Anywhere the snakes are going to be like on the beach, I don't want to go. Oh, the Greek Isles. Yes. So, yeah. But if Ivy Pearl, when this video comes up, if you can put that answer in the, that'd be great. I want to be on a secluded island beach with lots of coconuts. Listen, y'all saw the movie Castaway? I would have liked to have been on that island that he was on, just not without being able to get off. Maybe 3-4 months of being on there secluded. But I think I'd need a boat to come back. And I think I just want my watercolors, my paint, some paper. I thought about, what would you take? Oh, that's another question. What would you take on an island if you were just going to be on an island, just you and let's say your mate, if you wanted to take your mate. But I was just like, I would only take my watercolors. I have this bag that's a packed bag for when I do classes. When I go do classes, I pack this it's a bag like this that I think they were made for sewing machines. And I would pack that full of my supplies, and whatever could fit in there, that's what I'd take on the island. And Mr. McCoy, because it's big enough that he can have his side and I can have my side. And then we have a middle point where we come together in the middle. And when the fire is lit in the middle, that means we come together in the middle. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here because you guys have hung out. You did the doggone thing with me, and I am ever so grateful. And remember, answer the question after the live goes up. And remember, take care of you. Take care of yourselves, because we can't be around here trying to pour from empty cups. Show up in the 100% you that God intended for you to show up as. All right, guys. And Beth, I expect to see some slapping some paint on some paper. I'll check my Instagram and see if you send me some videos or some pictures. But I want you and Sophie to have fun slapping paint on paper. I love you guys, and I am super duper 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 excited that you hung out with me, and I'm going to miss you, and I will see you on the next live. Until then, y'all take care. Bye.